You're watching Focus Montreal.
Well, this handsome young man on your screen is Sheldon Kagan. Of course, at that point in his life, he was not a household name in Montreal yet. Over the past 50 years, Kagan has grown into one of the leading concert and special event production companies in this city. It all started 50 years ago with his mobile disc jockey company. By the late 60s, Kagan booked his first show at Place des Arts with Dizzy Gillespie and Gene Krupa at the time, and his success just grew from there. Joining me now with a very special announcement is Sheldon Kagan of Sheldon Kagan Productions. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, I'm really happy to be here.
So what's your big announcement, Sheldon?
Well, surprise, surprise. I started my business in 1965. I hoped at that point to try and do 25 years. When I reached that milestone, I said, let me see if I can get to be 50 years. It's exactly 50 years, and I'm officially announcing right now to you that I am retiring.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Now, Sheldon, you told me this on the phone this week, and I said, oh, my first reaction, as Ann Dowson's was just now when she heard it, is, oh my goodness, it's the end of an era in Montreal. You're such a household name for us, Sheldon.
I mean, I've really enjoyed the ride. You know, I started when I was 15. I've accomplished everything I want to do. And I just want to spend a lot more time with my family. I want to travel. I'm going to write a book. There's so many things that I'm going to be doing.
Oh my goodness.
But it's exciting. It was something that, you know, Linda and I talked about a few months ago, and we said, look, you know, I'm turning 65 and, you know, 50 years anniversary, you know, let's do it.
Yeah, 65 with 50 years in the business. We're going to spend some time over the rest of this broadcast actually looking back at your career, but I want to get this question out of the way, which is what happens to Sheldon Kagan Productions? We're all so used to seeing that name around Montreal.
No, I mean, really, you know, I thought of selling the company. Over the years, people have approached me saying, hey, Sheldon, you know, are you interested in selling your concert division? Do you want to sell your entertainment division? You know, there's been interest, but I don't really feel that Sheldon Kagan International without Sheldon Kagan is going to fly. I mean, I've done thousands of weddings, thousands of corporate parties, and, you know, I've done so many things, but it's always been about me. And you know, I have no problem with this. I mean, I've got great memories. I've kept portfolios. I've got 14 books of reference letters that people have wrote me over the years. I've got pictures with the performers. I've been setting up a video biography. So, you know, the history is there, but why just keep something going, you know, if the time is right to move on?
So let's look back. You started this company when you were 15 years old. 50 years ago. Tell me how a 15-year-old starts what turned out to be such a successful company.
Well, I had this passion. You know, I knew that I wanted to entertain people. I knew that I wanted to work with the public. So I said, hey, let's become a DJ. At that time, there was no mobile DJs. All the DJs were radio announcers. And anyone that was doing a party was a band or an orchestra. I gathered a bit of equipment. I would win contest on radio at that time and won all this music and
albums at the time,
and
record
45s.
albums,
I mean, I have sitting in my home right now over 22,000 records that I've accumulated that I now plan to donate to probably a university and have like a Sheldon Kagan library. So I collected the music. I remember the first place I went to was a church on Coast St. Catherine called St. Paul's Church. I went to see the minister at that point and said, look, let's do something for the community. And he said, okay, but who are you? What do you do? I said, I'm a disc jockey.
You're
you haven't
a 15-year-old
heard?
kid.
I'm Shelley the K. I'm going to make this. And the church is still right there today opposite the Jewish General Hospital. And I did this party, and I did hula hoop contest, and I did limbo, and everyone had such fun.
Yeah,
you know,
we have a picture of Shelley the K at the time, 15-year-old Shelley the K, if we can bring it up, when he was just a young teenage boy. And heading out there, you moved out of your parents' house, right?
Yeah, again, that was a tough part because, you know, my parents wanted me to do other things and didn't want me to become a DJ. And I just had to do it. So at 15, I left home, I quit school, I moved about 7 blocks away, found enough money to get an apartment, and that's where I was, you know.
Amazing.
So then I went ahead, I did other organizations, I did, it was just a matter of building. And then people were calling, I was booking, it was crazy. So I said, let's keep this going. So I found other people to work for me, and I went from 1 DJ to 3 DJs, and then I started getting involved with bands. And at that time there was JB and the Playboys and the Staccatos and the Haunted, and I started booking these bands. And any night, high schools, I could have been doing 15 to 20 dances on a night. It was just unbelievable the way the market was there for the bands. And then adding myself as the DJ gave another element. I started again winning more and more contests. I met the Beatles in Toronto. I met the Rolling Stones in Montreal. So it was all about building up and getting people to feel comfortable.
And then you started bringing people in. So some of the people you've met, we have pictures of Bo Diddley with Sheldon Kagan, and we have Buddy Rich with Sheldon Kagan, and Ravi Shankar, who was one of the first people you brought to Place
Yeah,
des Arts,
Ravi
right?
Shankar was incredible. And I got a call a week before the Ravi Shankar concert from Robert Charlebois. I'm saying, Mr. Kagan, my name is Robert Charlebois, and I'm a huge fan of Ravi Shankar. I would just love if I could meet him. So I said, come.
There's Robert Charlebois with the crazy hair.
And we had a great time, and then Ravi Shankar, took off and he did Bangladesh with the Beatles. And of course, Ravi Shankar's daughter is Norah Jones. So there was such experiences dealing with these performers. I used to pick them up myself at the airport. We used to go out for dinner. I remember picking up Artie Shaw, and I said to him, Mr. Shaw, would you like to go for dinner? Thinking I could take him to Moishes or wherever he wants to go, I'd be happy to take him. He said, do you like chicken? I said, sure. He said, well, why don't we go to your house and we'll play cards? And I took him to my house in Dorval, and I called a whole bunch of neighbors from the street saying, come on over, you can play cards with Artie Shaw.
How cool is that?
At first they said, are you sure? And I said, but they had known that me, and they said, if I said something, it was going to happen.
So you were an ambassador for Montreal, too, with all these people, and you were such an ambassador for Montreal acts, Rainey Lee and Oliver Jones. You helped them build their careers as well.
And for me, it was very important about supporting Montreal talent. When I brought Dionne Warwick to Montreal, she wanted to have her son as the opening act. And I insisted that I bring, Rainey Lee and Oliver Jones, because I think it's important to take care of the talent that we have in Montreal, which is so great.
You've had a tremendous career, Sheldon, in the Salon de Mal à Marier, also 35 years this year for that salon that you started.
Yeah.
And it's a tremendous event. We had our Jessica Laventure was modeling there in January. What's going on with that?
When I started the salon, my idea was, how can I get more business for my entertainment company? And that's when I started the salon in 1980, and of course, it got me an incredible amount of business for my entertainment, but then it took off as a super event. I just celebrated a few weeks ago the 35th anniversary, and that part of my company will continue. So I'm now making arrangements for that. Yeah.
Good. So, we have some people waiting in the wings who want to come and chat with you and congratulate you on this big announcement of your retirement. But before I get them all in here after the break, I want to ask you one more thing. Advice for young people who are getting into the business. You grew this from 15 years old. What would you tell young people?
Well, you have to follow your heart. I had this belief. Nobody around me believed in this. It was strictly me. After a few weeks of living on my own, I finally let my mom come and visit me, and she's been so supportive. But my father, it was difficult for him. He had what he wanted his son to do. And so, if you believe in something, study, stay in school, because that's so important. With me, I've got a grade 9 education, and that's tough, because even as my years went on, I sort of said, well, maybe it would have been good if I graduated high school, if I went to university, but I still was able to achieve everything I wanted to do. Staying in school, following your dreams, and you can do what you want to do.
I can't wait to read your book. I'm looking
book is
forward
coming
to
next,
that.
and I'm going to do a speaking tour too, and I'm going to go out to universities and schools and talk about, motivation and some of the things that we talked about as far as really following that dream and going for it.
All right, Sheldon, thanks so much. We have a whole bunch of people waiting in the wings who want to come in and give their congratulations to Sheldon. So stay with us. A few surprises coming up after the break. Some of the Montrealers whose lives Sheldon has touched over the past 50 years will drop in to wish him luck.
You're watching Focus Montreal.
Welcome back to Focus Montreal. If you're just joining us, Mr. Entertainment in this city, Sheldon Kagan, announced just before the break that he is hanging up his microphone and taking his retirement after 50 years in the business. Joining me now, some of the people who have worked closely with Sheldon over the past 5 decades. And I'm going to introduce you in order. Guy Trottier is one of the DJs. Thanks for coming in.
Hi.
Gemma Rayburn-Baines, many of you recognize, of course. Gemma, thanks for coming in. Franco Tadeo, a comedian in the city. Carolyn Flower, who she'll explain her story. Sheldon DJ'd. And this is Linda, who is Sheldon's wife, and Sheldon's grandson, who wants to go see his daddy, who does not want to come on camera. So let's talk to you all. Guy, starting with you. You've been DJing with Sheldon since the very beginning, right?
That would actually age me. I'm actually 50, but I've been with Sheldon for 23 years.
Wow.
Half of his 50 years in business.
And tell me about working with him, and how does it feel now knowing he's retiring?
Mixed feelings about his retirement, but what a ride it's been. He took me to an entirely different level. You know, I had 7 years experience when I started working with him, but he gave me a chance to do so many things I never thought I'd do, like being on TV, for example, or on the radio, and being at the Place des Arts with him. So it was a fantastic ride. He's
the kind of guy that kind of lifts people up, right? Gemma, he's helped you so much with your Caribbean Festival.
Oh, yes. From day one, he's been there for me. He's such a great resource for me. And, you know, he's shown me so many things in that business, and I really appreciate it, and I can tell you that I'm really going to miss him.
Oh, you're getting emotional.
I'm going to really miss him, but he's always been there for me and, you know, helping me promote A Taste of the Caribbean, and I couldn't do it without him. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll be knocking on his door.
I'm sure you will. He's smiling at you. Franco, how does a comedian get involved with a disc jockey? What's this about?
It's interesting. Firstly, I have to say that I wore the bow tie because I thought we were going to be talking about the education minister. And Gemma wore the glasses, so we would look scholarly. But I guess it's all about Sheldon. Sheldon approached me about working with him a few years ago. I haven't known him nearly as long as everyone else, so I haven't had that pleasure. But one thing that has struck me about working with him is that producers or impresarios are always busy trying to put you down so they can get you at the lowest price. And Sheldon was so different because he was always about magnifying your self-worth as an artist. And that's what struck me the most, and that's what cemented our friendship.
That's a nice thought, isn't it? And Carolyn, you have a more personal relationship with Sheldon.
Sheldon and I went to the first Salon de la Mariée in 85 and decided that we wanted to hire Sheldon to take care of our wedding as a DJ. But as I soon found out, he doesn't DJ. He's an MC. He's a master of ceremonies. So he took care of our wedding at the Chateau Champlain in 86. And then when I decided, when I was repping Village Theatre, I have a PR company, and I needed an entertainment sponsor, well, I called Sheldon. So we worked together for many years.
I think so many Montrealers can relate to Sheldon taking care of their wedding, because that's really what he did so well, right?
Absolutely. And then I remarried in 2010, and you know, Sheldon and Linda had over the years become friends, and they were guests at our wedding, except that, well, Sheldon took the microphone at our second wedding and decided to entertain our guests there as well. So it's been 30 years we've been
wow.
Been
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a testament when you can be a friend with someone that long, Sheldon, and when you can be married. Linda's so shy, and we made her come on TV.
They forced
Hi,
me.
how are you doing, sweetheart? Do you have a cold?
I'm really just here for Turner.
Yeah, Turner. We have some video of Sheldon and Turner, because Sheldon, over the years, Linda, has gotten all the kids involved, and you in the business,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah, I've been very busy with him.
Yeah.
I think it's time to retire.
It's time. You're ready for it.
I'm
as
so
well.
ready. I've been ready for a long time, actually.
No pressure, Sheldon, but it's time to
It's
go.
time.
I've heard about it many times.
Yeah. a few
Turner,
times.
I don't know if we've showed the video or not of Sheldon and Turner coming down the runway, but all your kids have come down the runway at the Salon de la Mariée.
I mean, Turner, when he was 17 months, just a few weeks ago, he walked down the runway with me and with Barry, and Barry and Marlene both walk down that runway as soon as they can walk. So that really was an amazing feeling for me to see, sons, daughter, grandson. So it's been a wonderful ride, and now it's all going to be about the family. As I said, we're going to travel, we're going to do a lot more things that we want to do, and life is going to be great.
Life is going to be great. Well, thank you all for coming in. Thank you, Turner. Do you want to say hi?
Goodbye.
Hi, Grandpa. No, he's not. He's nap time, and we made it. Thank you all for coming in, Sheldon. Thank you for announcing this on this show. I have a lot of personal feelings for Sheldon, too, known him over the years, and what everybody said goes for me, too. He's a terrific human being, and I'm looking forward to the book. There is one person who couldn't be with us tonight because she is touring, and that's Montreal jazz singer Renee Lee. She also wished you well, Sheldon, and she gave us permission to use any of her songs to close out our tribute show to you. So here is one I picked because I thought it was fitting for Sheldon. Renee Lee with I Got the World on a String. Sheldon, good luck.
Great, thank
Happy
you.
retirement.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care, everyone. Good night.
I've got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow. I've got that string around my finger. What a world, what a life. I'm in love. I have got a song that I sing. I can make that rain go.